This is Beyond the Verdict. I'm John Horford with Myrene Cook and Christina Alec Caprone.
Why does she always get a different name?
I don't know.
That's a funny one though, because that's the real mystery of this entire case.
That's the only thing that's actually a mystery in this case. We're going to talk Murdaugh again. We're doing a part 2. Just because we're getting a ton of comments and inquiries about going in and discussing some of the theories surrounding Alex being framed. First mystery, like Christina said. What is his actual name? Is it Alec? Is it Alex? It's spelled like
Alex. His name's Alexander. Or no, it's Richard Alexander, I think.
Yeah,
But
and everyone's like, you guys are idiots. At least say his name right. I'm like, bro, I know how to read.
Yeah. It's weird because I watch everything with subtitles, so like watching all the shows and the documentaries, they say Alec, but it says Alex on the subtitles.
And maybe it has to do with them being from the South.
I think so.
Yeah, it'd be like seeing.
And it's just easier to pluralize Alec. You know, Alex.
Yeah.
Instead of Alex's.
It would be like you seeing my name, John, Jon, me being like, it's Sean. Like,
yeah, but here's the thing. My name is Myrene. Nobody ever gets it right. But you know what? I'm not offended if it's Myrene or something else.
Do people say Myrene?
Yeah. Myrene, Myrene, all kinds of things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So,
Myrene.
For somebody
I've never heard that name ever.
For somebody who has a name that is difficult, apparently, for some people, does Alec or Alex really matter in the grand scheme of things?
They're like, it's disrespectful to him. And I'm just
I don't care. He hasn't done anything to earn our respect.
How does he earn respect?
He was framed.
He wasn't framed.
He was framed.
He was not.
Okay, but we promised these people that we were going to discuss some of the theories.
Okay, which theory do you want to start with?
Wait, first, is there one that stands out to you guys that you want to touch on? There's one specific account. I don't know if I want to say the account's name because I don't want like drama.
I don't think we should.
But people kept tagging this person in our posts because a lot of our Murdaugh posts they're getting like hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok. The one has gone up like 200,000 in the last like couple weeks.
I think it's because that series just came out.
Yeah, I think it is because it definitely is.
It's on the radar.
Yeah, so there are a lot of people commenting every single day. Like there are thousands of comments on these videos, and they're discussing guilt and innocent. And there's a bunch of people who think he's guilty. There's a bunch of people who think he's innocent, but people keep tagging this one account, and this guy's like, "You guys are idiots. Like you guys don't know." He's like, "Oh, these guys again." Like when he gets tagged in the account. And Christina, you went and watched a bunch of his videos, and
I don't get it.
I have a question. I didn't go watch this person's videos, but what does this person do for a living?
This TikTok, I think, and
Okay.
sells a book.
It says he's an investigative journalist, and it seems like he's put a lot of time into it. But I was just like, it's just the negativity for me. Like, why do people have to get so negative all the time?
Well, can't we have a difference of opinion at times?
I would hope so.
Like you and I do, and we're still friends.
Or best of friends.
Right?
Best of friends. We only disagree on one thing. We don't have to talk.
OJ was charismatic?
No.
Two things. Okay.
He's the color of orange juice.
Ha ha ha.
Yes.
All right, let's keep going on Murdaugh.
Okay. All right. So theory number 1.
All right.
It was revenge. It was someone trying to get revenge for the boat crash. So one of the most popular theories is that there was an outsider that was angry over the 2019 boat crash that led to the death of Mallory Beach, right? And that Paul and Maggie were targeted as retribution.
Okay, I get why Paul might be targeted. He was driving the boat when Mallory died.
Yeah.
I understand that, but why Maggie?
I don't know.
She's
Maybe
just
because
like a mom.
Maybe because she defended her son. Because people cited that he received online threats, that he was actually attacked physically.
But from what I remember from that documentary too, Alec or Alex, whichever way you'd like to say his name, he was the one who went to the hospital, who tried to get the friends who were on the boat to say different stories. Maggie was just like quietly there, making sure her son was okay. So that theory doesn't hold a lot of water to me. But plus, wasn't their lawsuit for the boat crash still pending?
Yeah.
Like there was a civil case still pending.
Yeah. And I mean, there was a criminal case, wasn't he? Like, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he had cases pending on that. So, I mean, I guess somebody from the outside could be seeking retribution, but that seems a little far-fetched to me.
Right. Like he was about to get justice. I thought. Exactly. I think he would have been charged. Probably.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking for justice, wouldn't you want to see him put away behind bars? Wouldn't you want to see them have to give up millions of their dollars to this civil suit?
To play devil's advocate, they got away with a lot, so I understand maybe not trusting the justice system in that area just because.
I mean, I get that, but the
Murdaughs wouldn't be held accountable is what you're saying. So they're like, we have to take this into our own hands.
Right.
And to play devil's advocate, maybe they did come to kill Paul and his mom just happened to be there when they came. And then that was why she ended up being a victim.
Yeah,
Clearly, I think we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
With thinking that.
I mean, I just can't get over the fact that he was there at 8:44 minutes before they were both killed.
And he had no reasonable explanation that I can recall for why his voice was heard in the video that Paul made.
Exactly.
Like, did he ever say how that would be?
He said he was there and left, I think.
Right, but there was a timestamp on that, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't remember a plausible explanation on his part.
People had said he was in the house when it happened.
Well, he was in the house after it happened so he could shower and clean up.
And change his clothes.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's why he looked so clean and fresh when police got there, because he just got out of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they never found the other outfit or clothes, right?
No, but they did find, what was a bloody shirt or something with blood on, a jacket at his mom's wrapped in a tarp.
But that leads to another theory.
Uh-oh.
So the lack of blood and clean appearance theory. So a lot of skeptics of that official narrative point to the absence of blood or gore on Alex.
Because he took a shower and he got rid of his
immediately
clothes.
after the killing as a sign of his possible innocence. The murders were brutal. So Paul was shot in the back of the head, point blank range. Maggie was killed with multiple rifle shots. Yet a responding officer testified that Alex was clean from head to toe with no visible blood on his skin or clothing when police arrived. Alex claimed he touched the bodies to check the pulses, but even at that, officers noticed that his hands, shirt, shorts, and shoes appeared remarkably clean. I know you're freaking out, Myrene, but remarkably clean despite the pools of blood at the scene. This is hard to reconcile with him being the shooter, as one would expect the perpetrator, especially at close range, to be splattered with blood and biological material.
No. Okay, devil's advocate. Can I do it now?
No. We're not done.
Oh, come on.
We're not done.
It's hard to contain this.
I know it is. That's why I had the fingers up.
Wait, we know.
You think the finger helps?
It makes it worse. I'm trying to get through it. We're trying to show the other side.
But we can bounce back and forth.
I know, but that's what we promised. I just want to
show the other side so I can
I just
rebut.
want to get through this little theory that people have. That people were like, look at this theory. What about this theory?
All right, give us that theory. Go.
Yeah, so the rest of this theory, he's remarkably clean. There's pools of blood at the scene. It's hard to reconcile, with him being the shooter. As one would expect the person who committed these crimes to be covered in blood and biological material. In fact, forensic tests later confirmed that Alex's shirt had no human blood on it at all. 74 swabs were taken and all were negative. Contradicting an earlier prosecution claim that the shirt had high-velocity blood spatter, a claim which was retracted after the analysis was found unreliable. The defense seized on this, arguing that the prosecution's theory required juries to believe an almost implausible scenario that Alex somehow washed off all the blood using the hose, changed clothes, and disposed of two long guns in an extremely tight window of just a few minutes. They openly mocked this as the Mr. Clean scenario, suggesting it was far-fetched that Alex would hose himself down naked and then drive a golf cart back to the house to magically emerge spotless. The lack of any blood or physical evidence on Alex or in his vehicle cast doubt on his involvement, according to this line of reasoning. Myrene, go.
Okay, so a couple things. Number one, I think if you come to a scene and you see your wife down and your son down and there's blood and gore and all the things, you're going to go over to those bodies.
Immediately.
You're not just going to check a pulse. You're going to check them. You're going to try to hug them. You're going to be like, honey, what's wrong? Honey, what's wrong? Can't wake up. Get up. Are you okay? He's going to have blood somewhere on him. He's not going to have a pristine white shirt when he's doing that, number one. Number two, I think whatever he was wearing, whether it was a raincoat, it was something else, who knows what he was wearing when he committed the murders, he took it off, he went to the house, and he showered. He's going to be clean. But we also know from the documentaries that were on this case that he took, I think it was a jacket that was wrapped in a tarp to his mother's house, and it had blood on it. Why would he need to take a jacket wrapped in a tarp to his mother's house for safekeeping?
And the blood was confirmed to be
his
own.
I believe. Well, no, it was. I don't recall. I don't want to say for sure, but it was something that they did test. So I don't understand how they think this is implausible. There are so many scenarios that fit with him being the murderer, but it doesn't make sense to me. If that's your loved one on the ground, you don't go over there and try to grab them, roll them over, check for something. I mean, come on.
To play devil's advocate again, Paul was shot point blank to the head.
Okay, Maggie.
He probably knew, like, okay, he's definitely done.
Yeah, he may be, but your human emotion is going to kick in, and you're going to hope beyond hopes, even though your brain is telling you he's shot in the head. I mean, if you think all the way back to, like, the Kennedy assassination, it was clear the back of JFK's head was blown off, but his wife was still trying to cradle him and hold him and make sure he was okay.
Yeah.
That's human emotion. Mm-hmm. That's what I think he would have done, not
if he had human
else.
emotion.
He had emotion.
If he had human emotion.
Well, he didn't have
Did you
human
hear the
emotion
911?
because he killed them.
The 911 call?
Yeah, he was super polite.
He was crying. He's very emotional.
Except in the police video in the car,
Yes, he was
that
acting,
was acting too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, so let's take a vote on this theory.
Wait, I have a question about this theory.
I guess we could vote on all the theories.
Yeah.
I have a question about this theory. Why do they think he would only have a few minutes between killing them and, like, the police arriving to get clean?
I don't know. What time did the police get there?
He went to his parents and then came. It was like an hour or two, I want to say.
He had plenty of time because nobody called it in until he did, and he made sure he had all the time in the world.
Hey, man, I just looked up, like, the theories that were brought up the most in these posts, and I just tried to look up information to find,
I agree.
These. No, I know.
But we're poking holes in it. So.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, so what's the vote on this theory? And I'm going to go last.
Myrene, we know where you're at. And what?
Sorry.
It didn't happen, right?
No chance. No. There's no chance.
Yeah. So.
All right.
0 for 3 on that theory. What about the first theory? We didn't vote on that. The revenge for the boat crash theory. I think that is possible, especially if there were strangers being, as far as the theories go, so far, I guess we've only talked about 2 of them. If strangers were being physically violent with Paul in the aftermath of this, it's not crazy to think that someone would want to take justice into their own hands if they know that Murdaughs have never been held accountable in 100 years in that state.
Yeah. We haven't really mentioned this, but I guess we kind of did. The drama series on Hulu about the Murdaughs. I've watched a few of the first episodes just to see how they would depict certain events, and I think they had Paul in a bar egging people on to beat him up, and after that, and that's how they depicted it in the show. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, instead of like him like being a victim and getting assaulted because of that.
He got assaulted because he was trying to get assaulted?
He was drunk.
So he can look like a victim.
Yeah.
Gee, apple doesn't fall far from the tree there, does it?
Oh, you think his dad told him to?
No. I mean, I think he probably learned that behavior from his dad.
They depicted it as Alex and Buster went off. They were on vacation and went off and did something. And he stayed back and got drunk and was at a bar by himself. And yeah.
Or do you think he felt guilty, so he felt that he needed to be beat up?
Yes. I think it was part of that too. But still, I don't think it was like a...
I think he wanted sympathy. I don't think he felt guilty and wanted to be beat up. I don't think the Murdaughs felt sympathy for other people except for themselves. Honestly.
You're harsh. You're a tough critic.
I am a tough critic, but here's something that I say to juries, because a lot of times defense attorneys will say things like, it's possible, it's plausible it happened this way. No, it didn't. The evidence doesn't fit. So in my rebuttal argument, which prosecutors make the first closing argument, and then the defense make a closing argument, and then because the burden of proof is so heavy, prosecutors get the last word. I love having the last word.
We know.
I know.
We know.
I know. See? There it is again.
Wow.
But my point is, what I say is, anything is possible, but it's not probable given the evidence in this case. The jury heard all the evidence in this case, much more than you or I or anybody else who's analyzed this case knows. We don't know every exhibit that was admitted for the jury to see. We don't know all of the links that the prosecution put together to make this. So the theory that this is a retribution thing is zero for me. No.
An absolute zero.
Yes.
I think as far as the theories go, and we've only talked about 2 of them. I think we have like 5 to discuss. This one so far it holds the most weight for me. I still don't think it happened this way.
Yeah.
But if you had to pick one, like which one was most likely so far, I would say this one's most likely.
Oh, ask me which one I think is most likely.
None of them?
That he did it. He's the murderer. Alex or
No,
Alec
that's
is the murderer.
of these theories.
That's my theory. Christina, what's your vote on this one?
Is that a theory? Isn't he in prison for this crime?
Yeah, it's a conviction, so it's really not a theory.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's not a theory.
Okay, but Christina, what's your vote on this one?
No, I don't think. He was there 4 minutes before, and who do you think did it if it was retribution for the boat thing? Like, it had to be someone in that circle of friends or close family. Like, give me a name and link some evidence. I don't think there's any.
How about Cousin Eddie?
That's the next theory.
That's the next theory.
Tell us.
Cousin Eddie and the drug gang theory.
Okay.
So another theory points to Cousin Eddie, so Alex's distant cousin, drug supplier, and accomplice in the later suicide for hire insurance scheme as a potential suspect or participant. So during the trial, the defense directly suggested that Cousin Eddie could have been involved in the murder, citing his role in Alex's opioid drug network and botch-assisted suicide plot in September of 2021. This feeds into speculation that Alex's entanglements with narcotics traffickers might have put the family in danger. In fact, there were dark hints at the trial about violent drug dealers whom Alex allegedly owed money after Cousin Eddie supposedly misappropriated funds. Some observers theorized that these criminal associates, fearing Alex might expose them or defraud them, could have executed Maggie and Paul as payback or intimidation. Notably, Smith even failed a polygraph when asked if he was present at the murders.
I did so good. I didn't interrupt you once.
You didn't. You didn't.
Are you done?
And surprisingly, that was mostly from the New Yorker. The New Yorker, they brought this up as a potentially legitimate theory. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Okay. So can I talk now?
No.
All right.
Yeah. Have I ever been able to stop you?
I mean, sometimes you do. Sometimes. But here's the thing. So when you're looking at this particular theory, what's the biggest thing that stands out to you as a red flag? What are defense attorneys supposed to do at a trial?
I don't know.
They're trying to create reasonable doubt.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And so you just read something that said there were theories floated at the trial that this was some sort of retribution from drug dealer kind of thing.
To create reasonable doubt.
Well, yeah, that's why defense attorneys do that. Again, I'm going to go back to my same statement. Anything is possible, but it's not probable given the evidence. Alex or Alec, I'm going to do both, so it makes everybody happy.
It's just going to piss people off even more.
Well, you know what? I'm trying. My name is Myrene, and people get that wrong, too.
Myron is crazy. Myrene is even worse.
And some people shorten it. Do you know how they shorten my name?
Myrn?
My.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Exactly. But my point was, now I'm going to forget my point. That's not good. No, but my point is that I just don't see the probability of that happening. Alex had taken a lot of money from clients and his firm and other things, and he was paying his drug dealers off, right? Mm-hmm. And if it was a drug dealer thing, they're going to kill him.
Do they? But if they kill him, they don't get the money back. If they kill the family, it's like, and your other son's next if you don't get us this money. And I think that's what they're pushing towards. Like, of course, the drug dealer's not going to kill the person who's going to pay him.
Yeah, but he would have had a crap ton of life insurance. Right. They off him, the family's going to pay up quickly because they're going to be like, oh, you killed him. Here's your money. Here you go.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
They do.
There's a code.
There's not a code.
Amongst drug dealers. Ask Cousin Eddie.
You know what? Cousin Eddie is a red herring, which is what defense attorneys do to throw out to get you off the mark and off track. Let's vote on this one. Christina, you go first.
So
Cousin Eddie.
You don't think that he misappropriated those funds and that's what...
Oh, I think he misappropriated funds, but I think he was paying...
Cousin Eddie.
No,
I think Alex did.
I think Alex did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Christina, your vote on the Cousin Eddie theory.
No.
John?
I don't feel it. There's someone screaming at the screen right now. You forgot this detail. That guy that we were talking about at the beginning of the episode's like, these fucking idiots. They just had to watch more of my videos. And then
I don't think he believes the Cousin Eddie theory, though.
Oh, does he not?
No, he thinks it's two random strangers hitmen.
Oh,
Let me-
wait. That's the next theory.
Wait, I haven't voted yet. I haven't voted yet.
Sorry about.
My vote is absolutely positively not. No Cousin Eddie, no drug dealer thing, no. And I don't base this on the fact I just want to be antagonistic, which I know some people may think that is the case. I base it on my 25 years experience as a prosecuting attorney, looking for the red flags, looking for the what ifs, looking for other ways things might have happened, any alternative hypothesis that could be viable, but it's not plausible given the evidence.
I also think drug dealers, he wasn't like selling drugs. It was literally just his personal, which it was a big personal supply.
He used
but it
a
was,
lot.
But it, like, I feel like they really go after you when it becomes like this whole enterprise and you're selling and making money for them, not just selling to a guy.
I don't know. Maybe you owed him some favors. We don't know all the details. We should have read through more of the comments.
Oh, wait, say that again? We don't know
all of the details.
Exactly. We don't know all the evidence that was presented to that jury that found him guilty.
Yeah. There's also a lot of people who are like, I don't believe that he committed these murders, but that he's absolutely guilty.
Huh?
Not of the murders, but just of being a criminal. Like, he's the reason his family's dead.
Oh.
But did you see his testimony? I mean, come on. For someone who's an attorney, that's the best he could do? Really?
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was really
rewatched
bad.
it last night.
Should we pull up some clips right here?
Sure.
Just throw some in there.
We should do our last theory first.
No, there has to be like a No, it's not something we'll do now. It's something I'll do when I'm editing.
Oh, yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm fine.
And he admits that he lied.
He admits that he lied. And so that is a big, giant, everybody's waving a red flag at that.
Mr. Murdaugh, is that you? On the kennel video at 8:44 p.m. on June 7th, the night Maggie and Paul were murdered.
It is.
Were you in fact at the kennels at 8:44 p.m. on the night Maggie and Paul were murdered?
I was.
Did you lie to Sled Agent Owen and Deputy Laura Rutland on the night of June 7th and told them that you stayed at the house after dinner?
I did lie to them.
Did you lie to Agent Owen and Agent Croft on the follow-up interview on June 10th that the last time you saw Maggie and Paul was at dinner?
I did lie to them.
And in the interview of August 11th, did you tell Agent Owen and Agent Croft, did you lie to them by telling them that you were not down at the kennels on that night?
Yes.
Alec, why did you lie to Agent Owen, Agent Croft, and Deputy Rutland about the last time you saw Maggie and Paul?
As my addiction evolved over time, I would get in these situations or circumstances where I would get paranoid thinking. It could be anything that triggered it. It might be a look somebody gave me. It might be a reaction somebody had to something I did. It might be a policeman following me in a car.
But is he doing it because he's trying to protect his one son that's still alive, Buster?
How does that protect Buster?
Because him taking the fall for this and going to prison for it means that those drug dealers or Cousin Eddie or the two...
No, because if they're still out of money and they want the Murdaughs, it doesn't matter which Murdaugh to pay it. Buster's the one on the outside with access to things.
So you brought up two strangers. Who brought that up? Someone brought
Christina
that up?
did.
Yeah.
That's the next theory. The two shooters, two strangers theory. So Murdaugh's defense team argued that the crime may have involved two perpetrators, which, if true, cast doubt on the idea that Alex alone orchestrated and executed the murders. They pointed out that two different firearms were used, a shotgun for Paul and a rifle for Maggie, and that the sequence of events could indicate two assailants working in tandem. In court, defense attorney Dick Harpootlian suggested one shooter ambushed Paul while a second acted as a lookout, and when Maggie suddenly came upon the scene, the lookout killed her as well. The use of two distinct weapons in rapid succession supports this theory, since it would be challenging for a single killer to switch guns and subdue both victims so swiftly. Moreover, the defense highlighted cell phone evidence to bolster the two-shooter idea. Data suggested that someone other than Alex likely tossed Maggie's phone on the roadside where it was later found, at a time when Alex's own phone showed him already driving away. This implies the presence of another person at the crime scene handling key evidence consistent with an unknown accomplice or assailant.
Bullshit.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
What's the motive
Why
there?
is there two guns, though? Why were they killed with two different weapons? What happened there?
To make it look like there are two people.
You think
Alex staged that.
You think he staged it all?
Yeah.
He was clever enough to do that?
Yeah, he was an attorney and he handled cases like this.
But you know how hard it would be to kill your own, and we talked about this in the first episode.
Not if you're higher than a kite and you don't care about your family and you only want to save your own ass.
It's pretty evil.
It is pretty evil, but we deal with evil every day.
That's true. We do deal with evil every day.
There is something that Alex says on the 911 call when the operator's speaking to him. He in the background kind of lightly is like, he's like, God, Paul, like, why'd you have to get involved or something like that? Like maybe Paul wasn't the primary, but Maggie was. I don't know. But
So why was he trying to kill his wife? And why was he trying to kill his son? Why was he trying to kill his wife and son?
So if you take just what Christina said, God, Paul, why did you get involved?
Yeah.
All right, so maybe people were after Alex, and maybe Paul thought he could help his dad, and it turned out it wasn't helping.
So the people that were after him came to kill him, and they ran
that's
into
not
his
my
son
theory.
and his wife.
No.
No.
That's not it.
You just said that.
No, I didn't.
No, you
No,
just
I
said
didn't.
that.
You
So
didn't- let me
why
finish.
did he kill them? Why did Alex Murdaugh kill his wife and son?
Well, I was trying to tell you.
Why did Alex Murdaugh kill his wife and son?
So Christina just gave us the theory. On the 911, you can hear Alex say something about, God, Paul, why did you get involved? Maybe Paul tried to help his dad with the drug dealers or the other problems his dad was having. Maybe Paul told Maggie. There was some theory out there that Maggie, according, I think it was her sister, was very upset with Alex and was thinking of leaving him, or there was marital strife, or there was something going on there. So maybe she was going to leave. Maybe Paul told her what happened. And Alex didn't want to deal with that. He couldn't survive a scandal with like a divorce. He couldn't survive a scandal where things are going not according to his plan or his way of wanting to create the narrative. And so once again, I go back to he wanted to save his own ass and didn't care whose was in the crossfire, including his wife and his son. That's one theory.
So he killed them because he only meant to kill Maggie because they were going to get a divorce, and he just couldn't handle that. And then Paul just happened to.
Well, but Paul got involved with something that he didn't want him to and created in Alex's mind some sort of problem or more trauma for him. And so he's going to get rid of both problems.
And you believe that?
It's more possible than the two random gunmen theory.
I mean, they were killed with two separate weapons.
And he had a whole house full of weapons. Ironically, weren't there a couple missing that matched?
They never found these guns, correct?
Correct.
These guns were never found.
Right, but they were missing from his house.
Well, yeah, because the cartel stole them from his house, and then
The cartel's going to bring their own guns, thank you very much. They're not going to go in the house and go, hey, maybe do you have ammo for this so I can use it to kill your family?
the cartel loves framing people, don't they?
They're going to have their own weapons.
You don't think they're sophisticated enough to set them up?
I'm not saying they're not sophisticated. I don't see it happening in this case. There's no benefit for them
A lot of cartel in South Carolina, huh?
because it's so close to the, Georgia border?
I don't know. It's on the ocean.
Okay.
A lot of people at the end of the documentary, like Paul's ex-girlfriend, Mallory's boyfriend, Anthony, I think is his name, and I think the other housekeeper, not Gloria, who was murdered, but another one, she did not comment, but the other ones thought that there might be a person that helped Alex. So maybe not two random people, but maybe Alex and a person, and I feel like that could explain the cell phone data of him driving this way and someone else driving away. But then why wouldn't he flip on that guy?
Right.
Because it's Cousin Eddie.
But couldn't he turn off his location on his phone when he dropped her phone, on the road and then
but I think
come
it was
back?
both active at the same time.
Oh,
I think
I don't
was
remember if
what-
it was active at the same time or not. But
That's what I just watched a clip of the SLED agent testified to that.
could he
It's
leave
like-
his phone at the house, go drop her phone off, and come back after he dropped all the stuff off at his mother's?
Maybe, I don't know.
Speaking of SLED,
Wait, do we want to vote on this theory?
Oh, I guess we can. But
Are we done?
You guys just keep like flowing into these other theories so well that I just want to like.
Segue.
We just have a good
Continue.
groove over here. What's your vote on this theory, John?
Wait, what is the theory? It's a two random strangers
Two random
theory?
stranger theory.
I'm not buying it.
No, me neither.
I'm not buying it, but
I do potentially think he might have had help, though.
yeah. So maybe not strangers, but two gunmen theory.
Yeah.
So there could be two gunmen, but Alex is one of the gunmen.
I don't
Right.
believe the two stranger theory. Not for a second.
Yeah, so not two strangers, but there could be two gunmen. He could have an accomplice.
I mean, that's a possibility, but then there would have been another body because he would have killed them, so they wouldn't rat on him.
I mean,
Let's think. I mean,
Or it's Buster. Dun, dun, dun.
well,
just throwing this guy under the bus. So you mentioned SLED.
Yep.
yeah. What does SLED stand for?
Oh, yeah. South Carolina Law Enforcement Division.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep. So, okay. South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
All right. So both the defense and some case observers have argued that law enforcement's investigative missteps could mean that the real killers were overlooked. South Carolina's investigators, SLED, were criticized for tunnel vision on Alex and failures in evidence handling that potentially obscured the truth. For example, police waited 3 months to search Alex's parents' property, even though Alex went right there on the night of the murders, a delay in which any hidden weapons could have been moved or destroyed. The state also pursued shaky forensic theories like the debunked shirt blood spatter evidence and may have misinterpreted key statements. In one recorded interview, Alex appeared to say either "I did him so bad" or they did him so bad. Investigators insisted he said "I did him so bad," treating it as a confession of guilt, but others heard "they did him so bad," which would actually indicate Alex was lamenting what unknown perpetrators did to Paul. The defense highlighted this ambiguity to suggest that officers jumped to conclusions rather than follow leads pointing to other culprits. Additionally, there were no signs of defensive wounds on the victims and no incriminating fingerprints, footprints, or shoe prints at the scene tying Alex to the crime. Details that some say were too readily explained away by authorities. Collectively, these gaps and errors in the investigation have been used to argue that reasonable doubt remains and that someone else, although never identified or charged, could have been responsible for the murders. Myrene's just a brick wall.
Shaking her head.
I have two things.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
All right. So the first one is there were no defensive wounds. Why not? Because they knew who the shooter was. They wouldn't think they would have to be defensive against their husband and their dad, number one.
Yeah.
All right. Number two, you talked about the shaky forensic analysis of the shirt, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know exactly what they came out with and then what they retracted, but here's the thing. So sometimes when there is a forensic analysis of any type of biological material, it may not be a standard. It may not meet the standard where they can say, yes, this is a definitive match or not. It may have certain characters or markers, they call it, that match, but it may not rise to a high enough level to say it is an exact match or it is confirmed. And so we don't know exactly if that was the case. It just didn't have high enough markers, or they looked at it completely differently. But it seems to me that's a huge, huge difference. It's not just saying there were 4 spots and it turned out there were 10. They're saying we thought it was full of spatter and now we don't think there's anything. I mean, that seems like a really big red flag to me. And I know conspiracy theorists would say, well, yeah, that's a red flag because they jump to conclusions. But generally, you may get a preliminary report from a lab that says, yes, like in the state of Michigan, we'd get it from Michigan State Police Crime Lab, and it would say, yes, there is biological fluid on this of some sort. They try to narrow it down a little bit, and they say now it's suitable for comparison at the DNA level. So did we get an initial report in this case that said there was something, and then when it went on, it just wasn't confirmed, and somehow that got spun into the fact of it was never there in the first place? We don't know. I mean, when you think about it, and we've talked about it a lot, but I would be remiss if I didn't point it out, that the media and stories will spin the piece they want to spin and not tell you the whole story.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 thoughts.
So what do you say to the people who say there were no incriminating fingerprints, footprints, shoe prints, any of that stuff at the scene tying Alex to the crime?
It's his property. You're going to see footprints and things that he's going to say, I was there earlier. There's the voice recording that says he was there earlier. So how would it not be incriminating? They're his from earlier, or they're his from when he stood behind his son and shot him in the head.
Yeah. To touch on the defensive wounds, I mean, you probably don't have much of a chance if you don't see it coming either. And didn't he was shot
in the back.
Paul was shot in the back of the head, right?
As he was walking out, the second time he was shot in the back of the head, as he was walking out of the dog feed area. He was shot, like, I think in the gut or something. I don't know. But then Maggie was shot from behind, and then another one, like, up and through.
Doesn't sound like the cartel, do you?
No, it doesn't.
No.
And here's the thing. Where do you expect to find fingerprints? On the chicken coop? I mean, his prints are going to be there. On the dog kennel, his prints are going to be there.
Of course.
Where would you expect to find them? On the body themselves? Oh, let me touch my finger to the bloody forehead. No.
Yeah.
It's not going to do that either.
So this sort of leads into, there are like two more theories. I think we all feel the same way about probably all of these theories. So you know what the vote's going to be. But there's the unidentified DNA that was found at the scene. So there's the unidentified DNA theory. Forensic evidence from the crime scene fueled theories that an unknown assailant was involved. Notably, fingernail clippings from Maggie Murdaugh's left hand contained DNA from an unidentified male that did not match Alex, Paul, or any close family member. Investigators compared that DNA to a former groundskeeper, C.B. Rowe, but concluded it was 11 times more likely to belong to someone that was an unrelated individual. In addition, investigators found brown hair strands clutched in Maggie's hand at the time of her death. The presence of a stranger's DNA under Maggie's nails, especially given that Maggie had just had a manicure that day, meaning her nails were clean before the attack, and the hair in her hand suggests she may have struggled with someone other than Alex during the murder. These clues have led to public speculation that an unknown male attacker or attackers were at the scene, bolstering arguments that the real killer could be someone else who left behind this physical evidence.
Got an answer for that, too.
Answer it, Myra.
While I can see that people would think the DNA of a male under her fingernails may be suspicious, she had a manicure earlier that day. Who was the manicurist? Was it a man or was it a woman? They could have easily went back and looked at that. And if it was a man, maybe that's where the DNA came from.
Yeah, it's a great response.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's
Or,
a possibility.
My favorite theory, she was having an affair because her husband was gross. And in the only scene that I've seen from that show was when Alex wanted to have sex with his wife and she was like just disgusted by it and he was like loving it. I'm like, you know, she probably does have like a lover on the side. And that's where it came from.
Maybe, but the hair in her hand is kind of weird.
I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, you remember, these are just theories that people are like pointing to.
Right, that was never presented.
Yeah, some of the stuff some of the sources, I mean, there are like some legitimate sources in here from some of the stuff I'm reading.
Were any of the dogs in the kennel brown-haired?
Oh, yeah. The one on the video.
Right.
That Paul
I think
was
they said it
petting.
was human hair, though.
Well, that's what they're saying, but is it confirmed it's human hair?
Yeah.
That's my question.
And this is the one that has like the least reputable
Right.
sources. Like most of the sources I'm reading from, they're from Newsweek, it's from the New Yorker, it's from a Reuters article, and then this is from like some random site that I don't even...
And they didn't present this as evidence at the trial.
Not to my knowledge. I didn't see anything about this.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't watch the trial. I watched the clips that you guys have like shared.
I watched the trial.
Did you?
I did.
The whole thing?
Well, as much as they showed on court TV. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But here's the thing. If you want to go with this theory, what was the reason he killed Maggie? Maybe she was having an affair. And I'm not saying the male DNA is a boyfriend's or the hair is the boyfriend's, but maybe that's a theory why he killed her. You're not going to divorce me. I'm a Murdaugh.
That could be, but
you don't do this to a Murdaugh.
Yeah, that was just the vibe I got based on it being male DNA, and then based on it's on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hulu show. Just because she looks so disgusted with him, and usually when you get to a point of contempt, I feel like a woman, you know, she's looking for that affection somewhere else.
I think the manicurist is a plausible theory.
Yeah, I thought that was a great response. I mean, again, I think we're all on the same page with most of these theories.
Next.
So the last theory is that Alex's motive, it's a questionable motive theory, right?
I got such an answer for this.
Do you?
I do.
It's the last one we got. So many people find that prosecution's alleged motive is unconvincing and see that as a reason to doubt Alex's guilt. Prosecutors argued that Alex murdered his wife and son to distract from his own financial crimes, hoping to gain sympathy as a victim and derail the investigations into his fraud and theft schemes.
Yes to that part.
Murdaugh's defense and numerous commentators have called this theory far-fetched and illogical. It's been pointed out by many sources that Alex had no history of domestic violence or abuse towards his family, and by all accounts cherished Maggie and Paul, making it hard to believe that he would suddenly execute them in cold blood as a misguided ploy to buy himself time because of unrelated financial troubles. Even the method of the crime, chaotic, brutal double homicide on his property, seems like an extreme and risky way to attempt a distraction. In Alex's own emotional testimony, he professed that he could never intentionally do anything to hurt his wife or son, and that his older son Buster described Alex as devastated and heartbroken in the aftermath. Those who doubt Alex's guilt often argue that the state failed to prove a believable motive, leaving a narrative void that raises the possibility that he truly didn't commit these murders.
Okay, I'm going backwards. First of all, heartbroken, yeah, because he got caught, number one. Number two, there's a criminal jury instruction in Michigan that says the prosecutor does not have to prove a motive for this case. The prosecutor only has to prove that the defendant, on or about a certain date, committed the crime. Motive is not an element, ever. You hear motive every time you turn around on TV shows, on other documentaries.
CSI Miami?
Yes, CSI Miami. They talked about motive all the time, but motive is not an element.
I feel like it just leads you to who it could be, and then
it allows you to present a theory, right? It gives people something to hold on to. Ooh, what was the motive they did it? What was the means they did it, meaning how they did it? Motive doesn't have to be proven, just that they did it.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so it doesn't matter to you that he had no history of domestic violence and that he was never abusive towards his family by any account?
No, because if you take what we just talked about a minute ago, maybe she was having an affair, or maybe she was just outright leaving him.
Okay, but that's just based on just making shit up, kind of.
Well, so are these theories, so if they can make shit up, so can we.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So here's the next thing. So maybe Maggie was going to leave. Maybe Maggie had a boyfriend. We don't know for sure. Maybe she was just disgusted and didn't want to be intimate with him. That's enough. Maybe he was just pissed. You're not going to leave me. I'm a Murdaugh. There's your motive for Maggie. Paul, on the other hand, became a huge disappointment and a financial liability after this boat crash, right?
Yeah.
And then apparently he did something where Alex on the 911 says, what your quote was earlier. What was that quote again?
It was like, God, Paul, why'd you have to get involved?
Exactly. So now he feels like he has to get rid of Paul, too.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that just popped into my head was everyone's testimony said that Paul loved Gloria, the housekeeper that died, and people think they pushed her down the stairs and whatnot. And then Alex had them file a lawsuit against him so they could get the money. And then he ended up taking, $500,000?
He took the majority of that money from her family and didn't give it to them.
The kids.
How do you even do that?
Because
he did a lot.
He was helping them work through this. You file a lawsuit against me, my insurance company will pay for it. You do that, you'll get money. And then he was like the intermediary, got the money from the insurance company and didn't funnel it through to Gloria's family. But you're right, Paul acted like she was a parent to him because she was with him so much as he grew up. Maybe Paul found out about that and blew the whistle.
Yeah, that's what,
Or didn't blow the whistle.
But he
didn't have a chance.
He didn't blow it to law enforcement, but he might have blown it to Maggie.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell Mom.
Maggie knew about the drugs and then all the Gloria stuff happening, and him. If they found out that he took $500,000 from the kids who just got kicked out of their trailer home, they needed maybe $1,000 or $5,000, and they probably would have been fine. And he took it all. And he had done it before. That wasn't like the first family he had done that.
Yeah,
to.
Oxy's a hell of a drug.
I knew that was going to come up at some point again.
Yeah.
But seriously.
Yeah. But also, he was a drug addict. He knows in prison, well, I guess you can still get your drugs in prison. That's weird that people can still get drugs in prison. But he knew he was going to go to prison if he got caught for this. Why risk it if he's such a drug addict?
He was so smug, he didn't think he was going to get caught. He thought he was smarter than everybody else. That's why he took the stand.
He was polite.
Most of the time, criminal defendants don't testify. Do you know why? Because they have a Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate themselves. Did OJ testify?
He had the dream team.
He didn't. But my point is,
But OJ had the dream team.
that's not the point either.
It is. 'Cause
He had the Murdaugh dream team. They got away with a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff, I feel like.
there wasn't much
He-
of a dream team.
Murdaugh himself thought he was a dream team. He didn't need anybody else.
A little delusional.
Oh, yeah, he did represent himself, didn't he? Or did he not? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't, but I think he tried to take over from the attorney who was
Okay.
representing him. Like, I know more than you.
Right.
I'm going to handle this. You just sit there and, look official.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No dream team.
No dream team. And he's not a dream, apparently.
absolutely not. No, I think the combination of the drugs, the financial pressure, and maybe them finding out about things he was doing behind their back could have been. And then I think he might have had an accomplice. I think this might have been a little more planned than maybe
So
we
Christina
even thought.
does believe one of the theories partially.
Partially.
Yeah, you believe that there were two shooters.
I think he was.
But
I
he
don't
was
think he's
one of
innocent.
them.
I do not think he's innocent.
Yeah,
at
but he
all.
was one of them, is what
Yes.
you're saying. So you do believe that there were two shooters, and there
I think
is
it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But he was there 4 minutes before Paul was killed. Like
So of all the
and he
theories,
changed all his outfit. And the sorry, really quick, just want to get this in here. The caretaker for his mother, I believe, he asked her to testify that he was there longer than he was, and she testified that no, he wasn't, and that he asked her to say that. Why are you doing all of this if you have
he
nothing to hide?
because
asked
he's
witnesses
scared
to
of,
lie.
He's scared of the cartel.
No. He asked witnesses to lie. He
lying.
hid evidence. And then what about his failed attempt where he had somebody come shoot him on the side of the road?
Right.
What was that for?
That was Cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
What was that purpose, though?
Cousin Eddie didn't do it though. Did
It
he?
was some other random guy. It wasn't
yeah.
a relative.
Cousin Eddie wouldn't do it.
Oh, he asked Cousin Eddie to do it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said no.
Yeah.
So even that thief had a code. And if he wouldn't shoot Alec and let him live, you think he's going to shoot Maggie and Paul to death? Come on.
Maybe he didn't do it because he's like, I already did enough.
But going back to that question, why would he do that to himself, stage this fake shooting? To seek sympathy.
And make it look like someone was out to get them, and it was probably someone finishing the job that they didn't finish at the kennels or something.
Exactly. Which goes to what? His guilt.
And he admitted he was lying. He said on the stand, he was like, they were like, why did you lie about being there? And he was like, well, once I started to lie, I couldn't stop. It just kept weaving its own web, or whatever he said. Literally said that. Like,
Yeah.
So you
I
can't
just-
trust a liar.
Yeah.
You can't believe anything the liar says. Because why? Because he lies.
All humans have lied. Everyone lies.
But he was on the stand promising to tell the truth.
He's lying on some,
Some pretty major things. He's not lying that
killing your wife and
he
son.
didn't leave work early. He's
Yeah.
not lying about that. He's lying about really heavy, horrible things.
Hey, I'm playing devil's advocate, trying to play
I know.
devil's advocate here, you know?
I appreciate it. It's a good conversation.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's debunked. But
Yeah.
good job.
It's debunked. Myrene thinks that you guys are completely wrong. And if you want to argue with her, leave some comments. If you have an issue with something that was said tonight, please find one of our posts on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Leave a comment. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. But let's try to be civil.
Well, that's the thing. You can have a difference of opinion. We can agree to disagree, but we can be respectful about it.
Yeah. We're going to see this next episode that we're going to do. I feel like people are going to get really, really worked up about. So hopefully people will be able to.
You mean Myrene?
No, you'll get worked up about it, but I feel like people in the comments, like, did you read the comments on the post that we did about your beef with the Innocence Project?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. People are not happy.
Well, you know what? I have dealt with it personally. Have
Yeah.
any of the people who are not happy dealt with it personally?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. But we'll get to that in this next episode.
Okay.
If you have questions, reach out to us, BTV_pod. You can find our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Search Behind the Verdict.
Let us know your thoughts on this. Are there any of these theories that you think really stand out that could be possible? Although probably not plausible given the evidence, but let us know what your thoughts are.
Again, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.